So today, let's talk about supplies. Here we have a pretty simple, very small, compact, little watercolor book with an old picture in there of someone. And this is great paper because it doesn't really bend very easy, so you can use things like these great little watercolor markers, which were pretty cheap. I think I got them at like Target or something like that, and I had a whole set of them. Never knock the kids section, man. You can find some cool stuff. And, boxes to keep it all in, So you don't have to go crazy spending money on stuff like this. I like to keep a couple things with me in my backpack right here, which has a little compartment on the side so I can keep a thermos of water for myself to drink and also to paint with and refill at a water fountain or wherever I may be. So I throw my stuff in my bag and I go for it. So here's another thing. Something I found at a very cheap 99-cent store type place. It's just regular paper, man. Look at this. It's not great quality paper, but it doesn't matter because this is for scribbling and drawing and all that stuff. Now, you may be thinking, okay, something like this is going to leak through the back. Very true. But here's some cool ideas. Things that I like to do. You can cover the page behind it in duct tape. And it makes it thick. And it's something you can throw into your bag. Something else you can do, go through your book and just start painting with paint, okay? I'm talking like cheap ass white kids paint or something. I don't know, I think I got this at Blick, You take some paint like this and it's a good thing, you can listen to music, jam out, and paint these pages with some white paint or different color paints. Just throw it on there, it doesn't matter. If you have things to get out, this is a good way to get it out, Get some emotions in there and just get it out there. It doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? Because that's going to give the paper some strength. And if you've written some stuff, that's cool too because you can see through it. It's a good way to write some things, get them out on paper, and then paint over them and make them part of your piece, man. I mean, it's kind of rad. And if it's something that you don't want anybody to read, it's still part of it, which is kind of awesome. It's like a secret, man. It's like a secret letter to yourself, man. Okay, so that being said, that's a cheap way to go, and it's small, it's compact, you can keep it with you. Here's a book with lines in it. You can do the same thing with this. Paint over these pages with some paint, or you put some duct tape on the back or something, or you just take some other paper and put it on the back and use like a glue stick. 99-cent store glue stick. Just glue some stuff on the back. Just go through it. It's like collaging, man. It's therapeutic, And you put this thing together, and okay, number one, it's not going to be as hard for things to kind of leak through it. And that's great. And then you can paint and draw on this book. I like doing things on the lines too, because it's one of those things where it prepares you for life. Like, okay, you got lemons, what are you going to do with them? You've got lines, what are you going to do with them? I can use them as a grid. I could do something crazy with them. I could fill them with little designs. I could draw right over them like they don't even matter. Because lines don't hold me back. Nothing does, man. Nothing. So these are just some small suggestions. Now, here's some other stuff, all right? Student grade paint, acrylic. I'm going to tell you why I like acrylic here. Now, I use oil paint a lot of the time, especially when I'm doing more realism, stuff that looks very realistic. But great thing about this is it dries quick, so you can have like a small hair dryer or something. Like I get like the travel size ones. Blow dry that shit and it's dry within no time, okay? So you got that. Right, now, this was like a student one, so, not that expensive, right? And I got that at an art store, obviously. But here's some paint I got at like a 99-cent store. And this is like $1, man. Sometimes less than $1, depending if you go to like a Dollar Tree or something. And it's kids' paint. It's like some knockoff Crayola brand, and it looks great. It's freaking wonderful, man. You can dilute it. You can make it into more of a watercolor thing. You can And, you know, it's amazing what you can do. Now here's another brand you could get at an art store. Folk art. I love folk art because it's this flat stuff. And you can get them with gloss and shine too, but the reason I like flat is you can add the shine later, but you can also do more with flat. You can draw over it with things like this. You know, you can draw over it with gel pens and stuff, like white or brighter gel pens that are more, that you're able to see over them. This is a watercolor pencil. These are cheap things to get. This is like maybe $1, you know? You sharpen that baby and you can draw over dark stuff, over light stuff. You can give highlights to things. You can use it dry and it comes out kind of interesting in like a creamy chalky kind of thing. You can paint over that and blend it, or you can put it directly in the water. And, you know, you've got something that you can actually draw over stuff with that's dark or light, and you can go crazy with it. Now these they're like an oil pastel, but they're not oil. They're like water pastels. They're pretty brilliant and amazing. You can do so much with them, again, over the drier paint. You can do so much. And you can cover with gloss later, because why not, man? You don't even need a gloss. The hell with a gloss. So these are pretty cheap too. You know, but hell, why not use oil pastels? Then you take something and spray over that stuff, like a sealant or something, or even hairspray, and it, you know, you do it at a distance, and it seals it in, man. It's not going anywhere. Pretty cool. I will say that the oil pastels are more messy, and these are less messy, and that's kind of great. Plus, you can throw them into a box like this and take them with you, and that's cool. Here's another handy tool that I really love. Now this one was a little more expensive. When I say a little more expensive, I don't know. $5, $4, maybe $3 tops. But here's the inexpensive version. Now this is a mechanical pencil. The details you can get with this are great. So you can have a beautiful art pencil, and then you can also utilize something like this to get all kinds of details and cool stuff in there. And it's just an amazing tool, man. I got this one at a 99-cent store. I got this one at an art store. Honestly, it was really not too much of a shock when I saw that the little lead things that they sell for it in the cases can be gotten at the dollar store and at the art store, and it's the same brand. Yeah, exactly. Something like this, pretty damn cool. You get all the colors. You get an eraser, your sharpener, which has gone missing. You know, this is a watercolor brush like I showed you before. You press that and it's got water in it. You just keep reloading it. I'm repeating myself here. But honestly, these are great. You throw them into a backpack or a bag and you have them. Now, here's some other cool stuff. Now, like I said, you don't need all of these things. Again, here's a paint I got at Target. Target has paint now too. Walmart has paint. All the crazy messed up places have paint, you know, like, you know, people who, you know, horrible organizations, you know, and hey, you can get tools anywhere, okay? It's a plastic butter knife, man, okay? That grating, that puts marks in things. You can mix paint with it. I kept this from a party, right? You can cut it up and use it and stuff. It's cool. It's bling, man, you know, it's shine. You can mix paint on it, any shiny surface. Like if you have old pictures and frames, you can mix paint on it. It's kind of cool. You can wash it all off, you can use a razor blade to get it off. Really cool way to do things. Now, here's another cool thing I like to use. That's right, Q-tips, man. And I'm not talking about using your earwax to make paintings here, okay? I'm talking about just using these babies, which you can get at the 99-cent store or anywhere, and like doing paintings with these. I'm going to do a whole class about how to use these kinds of things because it is mind-blowing what you can do with this stuff, alright? Little bags to keep things in, cool scissors. Paintbrushes that are cheap are kind of cool, and I have some expensive ones too. I have a combination of things because let's face it, it's cool to have a paintbrush that you can get wild with and do crazy, awesome stuff like this. That wildness, that comes from a beautiful paintbrush like this wild one right here. Don't throw these guys out, man, unless you have so many that you can, you know, build a house of fucking paintbrushes within your house you already live in. I mean, that's a Twilight Zone episode of its own. So, I'll talk more about supplies later on, but I just want to let you know, hey, you know, you can buy one of these guys, it costs more money, and you can buy something like this, or just get it for free, for crying out loud, to mix paint. Or, you know, what's the difference, man? Seriously. Don't let this stuff hold you back from being creative. Especially if you're going to go nuts and create like we're going to do here. We're going to do the unplanned and the planned, and we're going to combine them both. That's right. The crazy wild stuff and the planned and organized and very detailed stuff, if you like. And then we can add them together. Because the best of both worlds, my friends, the best of both worlds. So that's just a little bit about supplies. As you can see, I'm not saying, you must have this kind, and you gotta go out and get Grombacher. I work for Grombacher, you know. I do, I work for Grombacher, and it's really good paint. I gotta say, good stuff. You know, I teach for them. But, you know, honestly, you don't need to get that kind of stuff. But I will say I love Grombacher. Here's something cool before I go. This is fabric paint, right? It's highly jeweled. It's got a jeweled tone to it, right? This stuff is cool, man. It's like putting little dots and gems on things, and the bottle is a tool itself. It comes out all shiny and interesting like that. We're gonna do some fun experiments. I can't wait to show you more, so stay tuned.